Hey guys, it's Aero Talk time. So in this video, I just want to give updates, rumors, that kind of stuff of everything that's been going on about Airdrome in the last roughly week, maybe extend back to 10 to 14 days. But just want to call it a recap video of things that I think are great. There's nothing in this video, but if anything comes up that I think is not great, I'll also announce that too, right? I'm not here just to shill a crypto. It's informing about a crypto. Good, bad, ugly. Just hopefully there's always more good. And for this video, there certainly is. Aerodrome and base in general is effing rocking it. It's awesome to see. And I'll be doing these a little bit more frequently. At least that's the current plan. If you end up liking videos like this where I recap stuff, because I don't always get the chance to, as soon as I hear about news, make a video and post it the same day. So I'm going to start doing recaps. So if you like this kind of stuff, let me know down in the comments below. Or honestly, also, if you hate this, like, hey, you just wasted 12 minutes of my life. I'll probably be honored that I'm now blamed for 12 wonderful minutes of your life gone, and I'll gladly take it. But let's try not to make that happen. All right, so let's just hop right into this little video. Let's talk about Aerodrome. I'll pull up some charts at the end just to give my thoughts for the next week or so, and let's just hop right to it. So there's been some stats coming out, right? There's always stats. AI, companies, everyone likes statistics. They're numbers. They're considered to be non-manipulatable. But anyway, so some numbers that came out for this week is that, go figure, Aerodrome is Base's top DEX, Base's top crypto. We know this, right? Like, I mean, there's nothing new about this. But the amount of money that's coming in and everything has been increasing. I know the price has been going down, guys, last week. I'm very well aware of it. Most of crypto has. That's the market. That's not necessarily what the crypto or the company is doing. Right. So there's been almost a 30% increase of volume going in through Aerodrome in the last 10 or so days. That's massive. That will turn into stability and price action in the near future down the road. And a lot of this comes from stable coins coming in. Again, I've said several times about JP Morgan because that's the big name that's been throwing money out there into Aerodrome or onto base. Sorry, on the base. But where do you think those stable coins are being held, right? Like, a lot of them are hanging out on they got to hang out somewhere on an exchange or a DEX, right? And Airdrome is pretty much the one that's going to do it. So there's just been an increase of volume, both trading and stablecoin that's going on Airdrome, which is great. That's letting us know that it's continuing to get healthier. To put in a much larger sense, Airdrome hit $150 billion in volume so far this year. And what we didn't even start Q4 yet, right? This is nearly a 5x year-to-year growth on base. That's fucking phenomenal, guys. Seriously, a 5x year-to-year growth, and it's only 3/4 of the year, which means it's going to keep going, and or should be expecting a lot more growth in the last quarter of this year just due to hype of alt season and the bull run. So base is growing phenomenally, and Aerodrome is one of the largest parts of it, both in terms of what's helping to raise the growth on base, also one of the largest beneficiaries of the growth on base. So I've said several times in my videos that the only crypto I really plan on holding it all past the bull run is Quant, and I will sell everything else. Well, there's two of them that I own currently and a couple other ones because there's a crap ton of great crypto out there. But HBAR and Aero are the other two that I'm looking at buying in the bear market for long-term down the road. I'm not sold that there's going to be alt seasons, or let me rephrase it. I'm not sold there's going to be the same style of bull runs in the next 4 years. I think we're going to have alt seasons. They're going to be a little bit more sporadic. By sporadic, I think it happen a little bit more frequently and be a little smaller. And it's going to be much more of the moderate and low caps as everything else gets closer to the stock cycle. So this was kind of already known. It's a different when it becomes official that Coinbase Prime is going to be fully integrated in to Aerodrome, or I guess that's the other way around, right? Aerodrome is going to be fully pushed into Coinbase Prime to help with all the institutional stuff, right? So this is Coinbase Prime, Coinbase Alpha, Coinbase Business. They use all these freaking terminologies, but Airdrome's tied into it. And it's now official, meaning when companies like JP Morgan throw their money onto Base, which is there, right? They can do a couple things. One, they can send money back and forth from clients and other banks. Okay, cool. That's awesome. They can also pay their employees using Aerodrome through Base. They can pay invoices of other varieties, not just paychecks. And now this is going to be constant money coming in and out of where? Aerodrome. And this is only going to build over the years, right? So this is a hype thing now, big money to come later. Because as we get more and more companies onto Base to use Coinbase Prime and to send money back and forth, well, Base is kind of being set up as one of the ecosystems to be used kind of as a bank, right? And that's a big effing deal specifically for Aerodrome because Coinbase doesn't have its own coin and it probably never will. Like how Binance has BNB, Crypto.com has Crow, right? Coinbase has its Aerodrome, right? Which is why everything that's good for Coinbase is good for Aerodrome. And they're just using it more and more. It is not only going to be the largest DEX, there'll probably be other DEXs on Base that will survive for the most part overall, but it's always going to be Aerodrome's going to be king. I don't think that's going to change. There's also a little bit of rumors that there's going to be more cross-chain integration with Aero, specifically into like Solana and Velo. Velodrome, we kind of already know it's kind of the sister company of Aerodrome. I looked at that one a while ago. I saw it as an either or, Aero or Velo, and I went Aero. But the more cross-chain, again, that's just more connections. It's just more synapses of money being transferred back and forth, higher trade volume, higher TVL, more companies using it. They do cross-chain with Solana. That's going to be freaking awesome for both parties. And then lastly, Aerodrome put in a donation of a little under $500,000. That was like $450,000. And they did this to help support growth of a bunch of different dApps, but also for Velodrome. So they're helping out their little buddy, Velodrome, with about $500,000. And the cool thing about this is a lot of those funds came from their buyback system. I love crypto that have burning and buyback systems. So like I forget exactly which one's Aero. I know I'm going to confuse that with others if I give you guys a percentage and then someone's going to know or look it up and yell at me. But that's where a lot of this money came from, is the buybacks. They're now donating to grow Aerodrome through dApps for Aero and Velo. Awesome stuff. So let's spend a couple of seconds, a minute or three, look at the chart, and I'll let you guys out of here. So looking here by the year on Aerodrome, and coming from the last major pump we had back at the end of 24, kind of ended, we'll call it here at the beginning of February, is we're just, look at this pattern of higher lows, right? We had the plummet. We could probably call that an awful flag. But we had a plummet and then came up. We call that first higher low. Came all the way up and then it retraced. Look at the difference right there of the change, approximately there. And then from here, we had the next, it went up and it's about the same height. See, this last one was a little bit larger, right? And then this same thing, not quite as big of a gap there. I guess just for comparison, we'll show not quite the same. But then look at this next one, right? Look at the difference of that higher low. That's just letting us know, guys, we are very, very much entering the big parts of the bull run. It is probably going to go slower than the last two cycles because it already kind of is. But if we look at the change of growth of the last low or high and compare it to this first one, like even the larger than the first two in general, right? A little over, almost double some of these other lower highs. That's awesome. It's why I don't care about retraces. Whenever you see an increase of the crypto go up arbitrarily about 40% or more, you know there's going to be a retrace. Do not trace green candles unless you got a damn good reason to think it's going to go flying a lot higher. But safety and history usually says otherwise. Catch it when it comes back down and stabilizes, which right now we have been stabilizing around this 115. Actually, zoom in a little bit more to get a better look. So when we look in here a little closer, we've been bouncing in between 110 and 120. I don't think we're going to stay here too long. I've been saying this with pretty much every video I've looked at charts recently about the rate cut is going to raise things, presumably get the cut as expected because it's going to raise everything. It will. And where it's going to go, obviously this is all speculation, but Aerodrome I think is going to get a larger boost than the average crypto. I think it's going to outperform, presuming we get that rate cut that we want. Mostly just because of what it does, right? I mean, it is layer ones and dexes are going to benefit the most. And Aerodrome, I don't know if I don't think we're going to boost up to all-time highs in the over $2. But get back up close to recent highs around like 140 or so. I think that's incredibly likely within about a week of the presumed rate cut. When we look at areas of recent resistance, so this isn't long term, this is the recent stuff, which I think is going to be a better indicator of a rate cut. We're probably going up to at least 130 when we get that rate cut. I'll kind of be surprised if we don't get up to at least there. So, I mean, if you're really looking at leverage trading, no financial advice. I don't think that's a bad move to bet on, especially since we're coming down right now. Putting in a leverage, maybe see if it goes down a little bit further if you want to get greedy with an extra penny or two. But I could see a world where $1.30 as a small little leverage bet's not a bad idea. And right now I'm not doing too much leverage trading or future trading in general. I just have one in right now for Solana, but I'm looking at possibilities of others. But I'll be doing that a lot more once I start selling my crypto. Because I'm going to stay in the market for however long it goes. I don't know if the bull run's going to end in December, in January, February, or next July. I know I'm going to get out when I get my financial goal hit, but then I'm going to take my profits and I'm going to stay in the market, just I'll do it differently. Far less spot buying and a lot more future trades. But this one doesn't look like it's a bad option. Now, on the other side, let's say Jerome Powell says, screw you guys, I'm not cutting rates, I'm cutting your profits, and we're not doing a rate cut in September. We're going to get thrown down a little bit more. And at that point, I think Aero is going to get hit less than most crypto, again, because of its functionality. But if you're a bear and you think it's going to crash from no rate cut happening, I could see it dipping a little bit under the dollar. And let's actually retrace back a little bit. So if we look at it from in the 6-month term, the next area to really drop would probably be around the 88 cents, around 80 to 88 cents is what I would expect if there is no rate cut. I don't think that's going to happen. Let me be clear. But that's where I would be looking for it. And if Papa Powell says, screw you guys, I'm going home and taking your money with me, I will put a buy limit in. I'll take a deeper look at the charts, and I'll probably do a video. If this happens, I'll do a video and let you guys know my exact thoughts when I look at technical analysis on a much sharper and smaller scale. I can see some room for that, but I think it's mostly just going up. I'm not overly concerned, but we'll find out on the 17th. All right, guys, just so I can hopefully cut this at about under the 15-ish minute marker. I told you guys a while ago I'd start doing under 12 minutes. I guess I lied to you. I apologize for that, but I thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. It's fun chatting at you guys. Let's do this again soon. Peace.